And this is what that looks like at Bjødnafjorden at the early stages. We are heading in this direction. That's where we are going. That's our course. That's all good. Well, it's the next morning. It's been extremely quiet in here this night. No waves, nothing. It's just been sitting still. Now there is a gentle breeze, and yeah, just had breakfast. Here the birds are singing, and yeah, it's wonderful. I'll let you have a look around in daylight. And if we look over here, we are heading out this way today, but there is some really thick fog rolling in. So until that clears up, we're just gonna stay at anchor and wait it out. So we have just weighed anchor. So we are heading off. The fog lifted yeah, about 1:45. Yeah, half past 10. So now it's 11:05. We prepped the boat to leave, and yeah, we just put the gear lever in forward, and yeah, motoring out. So we're gonna motor for a little hour till we get into open waters, just to get the batteries charged up for a bit. I left the motor running for 20 minutes before I left, while I prepped the boat to leave. So then the battery will have about 1.5 hours of charging time. So I will increase the throttle a bit now. The anchor came out really nicely. It's well, when the windlass had picked up all the chain and was just going to yank the anchor out of the bottom, you can feel that it really sat there, but it was in hard mud it was sitting. So I'd really set it well in the mud. That's good. So yeah, now we're motoring out, going to cross over Bjødnafjorden, and we are planning on anchoring somewhere around an island called Rekstern. We'll see when we get there, or if we get there. I don't know what we find when we get out to sea. If we run into fog again, we will just come up with a different plan, and yeah, that's the plan for now anyway. Peace and quiet at last. The engine is off. It's so nice. Both sails fully deployed. We are heading in this direction, even though we are going this way. That is because the wind angle is not what I had planned for. So I'm just going to shoot across these islands over here and go a bit further, and after that I'm making a tack and going across to where I'm truly heading. Winds are steadily, they are west southwest. So it should be more like west, perhaps even a tad of northwest, but that's not the case. So we have to use the winds that we have and make the most of it. It's a bit more work to sail in this wind than what was forecasted, but it's sailing nevertheless, so I don't mind. So this is the scenery. This is Bjødnafjorden, all this big stretch of water. These are the outskirts, and beyond that is the North Sea. So yeah, Loksundet, the shortcut over to Hardangerfjorden, is beyond this nib and across the Bjødnafjorden that way. We've sailed there before, and this is Fusa, the community of Fusa. There is another sailboat who's been tacking back and forth across the fjord and enjoying himself, just cruising on the water. I don't think he is planning on going anywhere other than just out sailing, and that's a perfectly good excuse to be on the water. So yeah, that's about it. I'll give you an update along the way. I guess we're going to be sailing for a few hours now, so I'll just have to check the charts to see that there is absolutely nothing that I can run into on the bottom, but it should be good depth here. I looked before I set the course, and now that the boat is stabilized, I want to check it again. So I'll catch you next few minutes, I guess. So we came a bit too close to the islands and lost the wind, and yeah, so we decided just to tack away from the islands and make another tack to get across here. So we are making another attempt on getting by these islands, because I need the height to get to where I want to go. The wind direction is clocking over to what's forecasted, so that's good. That's going to make the next leg easier, I hope. So this is the scenery. I hope we have made our final tack, and we are heading for the inlet to the little fjord, if we call it that, in there. In between the islands it's more or less like a sound, but yeah, we'll see. We are anchoring somewhere between Rekstern and Tysnesøy, and that is where we are pointing our bow now. So I guess as we get clear of this mainland here, when we get out in the open stretch, I guess the wind is gonna go more westerly, so we got to get it more from the side, and then we will make the last degrees up to where we are going in. That is the cut over right in front of us. So yeah, we are getting some good speed, some good sailing. 5.7, 5.6, 5.5, yeah, somewhere around there, just shy of 6 knots. I guess it will increase as we get out in more open waters, or it could die down a bit, I don't know, but we will see. True wind speed 7.9 meters per second apparent wind speed. So I haven't mounted the log, so I don't really know the true wind speed, but I guess it's around 7 knots, or 7 meters per second. That's 14 knots. Yeah, the boat handles this wind speed well, with no reefing, so we're going to just continue with this sail configuration. If it gets above this, I will put in a reef, but right now it's just perfect. So we're heeled over a bit and doing 6.1 knots at the moment, so I'll give you an update later on. Well, the wind has increased a bit, so it's blowing 18, 19 knots. So it's a bit much now, so we put one reef in the main and we furled up 3.5 turns on the furler for the head sail. So that has reduced the heeling and the stress on the rig, I guess, and the boat speed has increased, or it's pretty much the same. So it's more comfortable, and we are making our course with ease. We can even pull off the wind a bit now. So this big ship here was in our way, and he just increased his RPMs, and I put a few degrees on my course into the wind, and so that worked out well. We're now well clear of him. So thank him for his cooperation. That's good. Makes life easy on the sailboat. So I'm falling off a few degrees here. Yeah, it's blowing a bit. Seas are rather flat, but there is wind. So I'll let you have a look around. It's just 20 knots now, and this is what that looks like at Bjødnafjorden at the early stages. We are heading in this direction. That's where we are going. That's our course. That's all good. And if you go in this direction, you get to Bergen. So yeah, this is where we came from. Straight behind us is the outlet of the fjord. We crossed along the mainland to this village here. That's Os, and then we have crossed over. So that is the situation update right now. We are doing 7.1 knots at 20 knots of wind with one reef in the main and a bit furled up head sail. And we got, I guess, 20-25 degrees heel right now, so it's a bit much, but it's gusting, so it gets back to about 15 when it's not gusting. It's not far left. I don't think I'm gonna put another reef in. Perhaps I'll furl a little bit more head sail in if that's necessary, but yeah, that's the plan for now. So I'll give you an update when we get in between the islands, and then I guess the wind is going to be gone. So yeah, it's good sailing, good fun. I'm enjoying myself. We are entering cut in between these islands, and we just got passed by this ferry and crossed right in front of us. Couple of 100 meters ahead, perhaps not that much, 200 meters, 150. Yeah, and the winds are veering in behind us, or clocking in behind us. Here is a fish farm, so many of them here in Norway, and we are just sailing in. I'm gonna have to start the motor soon, not because of the wind, but I need to charge up the batteries and so on for a bit. So I want to run the engine for about an hour before I anchor. So when I get by a little bit further in, I'm going to start the engine. There is a bit left until we are at the spot we are gonna anchor. But yeah, I want to maximize this sail as well, because it is not often that I get to sail in such good conditions. We have plenty of power in the batteries, but the lead acid batteries don't like to get depleted too much, so that's why I try to keep them topped up, so they can handle being used a bit for a weekend. But of course, being able to keep them topped up is going to increase their lifespan, and that's important as well. Hopefully I can manage to get some solar panels on the boat, but yeah, it costs money. So I can make do without for a while, and we'll see. It's on my wish list, so yeah, that's the situation. I guess the wind is gonna die down now. I'm not gonna shake out the reefs. I'm just gonna let them sit like this and follow the wind in a bit longer. We are heading in this direction. This is the view from the bow. See, there is fishing buoys in the area, so I need to keep a lookout. And here's another fish farm. And here's one. There's the other one. There are incredibly many around the Norwegian coast now. Yeah, the ocean, or the sea, is it's gotten this green color now, and that is algae that blooms up every spring and colors the ocean. That is kind of nice. Otherwise we have a rather gray ocean color and rather dark bottoms, so we don't get this beautiful colors that we have further south. And water is also rather full of life, so you don't have the clarity in the water, even though it's rather clean water. Yeah. But now we have lost all wind in here, so I guess it's time to start thinking about dropping the sail. I shook out the reef right after I made the last recording, because yeah, the wind just dropped, and yeah, now it's yeah, getting too light. I needed to put the power into the batteries anyway, so I'm good with starting the engine. So I guess I'll just fill up the head sail and drop the main. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We are doing about 1 knot now, I guess. Let's see. 1.6. So this is known speeds for me. But this is the scenery in the background. Look at all this pollen from the trees and grass and whatever. So yeah, Norway is a beautiful place, isn't it? So yeah, I'll drop the sails and I'll start up the engine. It's a bittersweet moment. I've had a great sail today. So I'll make another recording when I'm at the anchorage. So we are on our way to our anchorage, which is somewhere up here. See, there is a wind farm out here. That's good, I guess. But we are heading in this direction, and then we're going up into somewhere in here. But there is plenty of small little bays to anchor, and behind this little island here is a perfect spot, it seems like. So perhaps we'll anchor there sometime, and down in this direction you can go, and we decided on up in here because of the wind direction today. We are still looking for a good place to anchor. The anchorage that we had picked out was 25 meters deep, so we figured we could see if we found something else. And here, right about here, is about 13 meters, so this could be a good spot for anchoring. 10 meters, so it's good. So perhaps we should drop the anchor about here. It's a really nice place. I think we'll have a look. We could go up this direction. Perhaps we'll just check that out before we come back here and anchor, because this is the best. This is the most shallow spot we found. So, otherwise it's been between 50 and 25 meters everywhere. So yeah, this looks really good. I'll let you have a look around. So we've been searching through all of this area in behind this island, and there's a bit of fishery going on. So yeah, it's really nice. This is good. But the map says that there is 0.5 meters of water mostly. So yeah, I'll focus on the driving and see what we do. Just got the anchor to bite into the ground here. I've been to 4 different places to try to anchor. 2 that I've pre-selected. They turned out to be more than twice as deep as the map said. And even though I can anchor in 20 meters of water if it's calm and it's a protected anchorage, but it is a bit short scope, but it's doable. But it's not possible to get the anchor to set when it's blank rocks on the bottom. It was just a rock face. I could just hear the anchor just dragging on the rock face. And some kelp came up with the anchor once, and yeah, so that's not been a great success. Then I found this anchorage. I'm not supposed to be able to get in here. It says it's between 0.5 and 1 meters of depth, but I figured I could try because I'd checked out several places that was same story. The map said it was no water there, but when I tried to get in, it was 20 meters. So to get in here I was at 12 meters at the most shallow part, I think. So it was plenty of depth, and now I'm anchored in 16 meters of water. Right, got 50 meters of chain out, and yeah, first I tried to get the anchor to set, and it held at idle, but when I increased the RPMs it started going through the mud, not sitting properly. And I turned the boat around and just reversed 180 degrees and tried to get it to reset the other way, and that held it a little bit better. And then I let the wind carry the boat off, and I reversed it in at, I guess, 90 degrees, perhaps a bit more, 120 maybe, from the direction that I previously had tried to dig in the anchor, and then it sat and held firmly. So I needed 3 attempts in here. I'm not sure what the bottom is like. I'll see the anchor when I get it up tomorrow. If it's sand or if it's mud. It felt really soft when I was trying the anchor to through it, so I don't know. It's too deep, but it was a nice place. I'll show you around. So that is the anchorage. Just had dinner, and now it's time for coffee. I really need it. I spent 3 hours looking for the anchorage now, so it's about time. It's about, yeah, I guess it's 8 o'clock in the evening. So it's the last rays of the sun, and yeah, you can hear the birds are pleased with the day as well. So it's time for coffee. Talk to you guys tomorrow. The anchorage is called I don't remember. I'll put it in the description, and also the location.